The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Monday, Draft Monday. First round kicks off Thursday.
Yes, it does.
Ah.
You know what's next, man? Hey, it's the Cowboys year. You know, as soon as that draft talk roll around, you know what they say next, man. It's the Cowboys year.
I'm off that narcotic.
You off the narcotic? You off that blue juice?
I'm off that blue juice.
It's the Cowboys year.
President Bush said, "Fool me once, shame on you. Twice, can't get fooled again. Can't get fooled again."
It's that time, dude.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. He is Barry Church, the Toledo
sir.
Rocket, a
Yes,
drafted
sir.
free agent, former Dallas Cowboys safety. I'm Newy Scruggs. I just covered the team. Our other running buddy, Danny McCray's not here. I wish McCray was
Monday.
here. Monday, he's back?
He's back Monday.
Okay.
Back
So
Monday.
he's back to critique the draft.
You already know you're gonna be. Hey, we should have done this. We got to do that. I told y'all from the beginning.
I wasn't here during this, but this is what okay.
This is what I heard.
Okay, so as a player, this is the interesting part. So I'd like you get to our listeners and viewers here. What when you're do you watch the draft to see if they're going to take someone at your position? I mean, what is it the draft like for a player to go through?
So me when I finally got my opportunity to be a starter, full time at the safety position for the Cowboys, when that draft rolled around, I'm watching the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
After that, I'm like, whatever. 4, 5, 6, 7. If they draft somebody at my position in those rounds, I think I'll be all right. But those first 3. The first, second, and third round, I'm keeping a keen eye on where they're selecting, who they're bringing in. Because those 3 rounds, in my opinion, those are the guys that have made the team. And even if they're not as good as the guy in their position, they're going to try to find a way.
They're invested.
They're going to find a way to get these guys on the field when you're talking about those first 3 rounds. Whether it's, we're going to put them right behind you for a little bit, just so you can teach them the ropes. You know what's going on. They're grooming that guy to come in and try to take your spot. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the business. So for me, as a player, I used to keep a keen eye on those first 2 days, first, second, third round. Now, the beginning of my career, I was watching it like a hawk as well. I can remember me and Sensenbaugh in 2013 sitting there watching like, man, all right, please don't draft Mark Barron. I think it was 2013 or 2012.
From Alabama,
Mark
Barron.
Do not draft Mark Barron, please, because all the weeks heading up to there, Rob Ryan, who was the defensive coordinator at the time, that kid, and he tried to, feed us we can run three safeties with it. No, we're not going to run 3 safeties. One of us is going to get off the field for this first round pick. So the whole time leading up, me and Sensenbaugh, man, what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? We ended up going to the bar and sitting there just like sitting at the bar watching just, man, what's this pick coming? What are they gonna do with this pick? And I'm sitting there like, man, what would be a sensible? And then as soon as they said, I forget who they drafted at that draft, but it wasn't Mark Barron. Oh man, we had a big cheers. Yeah, we good. Woo, we good. Then the second round, third round, nothing came in, so we was hyped.
What year
man.
was this?
I want to say it was either 12 or 13.
13, we didn't have a first. Our first round trip was Travis Frederick in 13.
What about Mark Barron? Whatever year Mark Barron went out, I forget what year that was. Was that the Tyron Smith year? It might have been Tyron Smith year. One of them years we had a high draft pick.
Tyron was 9.
Yeah.
Tyron was 9.
Yeah, so
Tyron Smith was 2011.
Yeah, so it might have been that year when Mark Barron might have been able to come in. I don't know what year he dropped, but that was the draft. We were sitting there playing, please don't let this guy come in. And then it was the year they drafted Mo Claiborne because
2012.
Yeah, because Mo Claiborne came in and we were in Orlando was like everybody was talking about we're getting a safety, and Orlando was like, yeah, y'all better watch out. And the next thing you know, we drafted Mo Claiborne and Mike Jenkins. Oh, what?
Hey, you okay?
Orlando, you all right, man?
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, you should have seen that Tuesday when we came in. Oh, man, the safety room was just dying laughing. Y'all all right over there? Just a little tension over there. There's some tension. Oh, man, it was a great run.
They drafted 4 safeties while you were on the team.
I know. I was.
Can you name them all?
Matt Johnson.
There's one.
J.J. Wilcox.
There you go.
Akwasi Owusu-Ansah.
Yep.
And kid from Baylor. Ahmad Dixon.
Yes, he's now in the USFL.
The USFL, Ahmad
I saw him
Dixon.
play the other day.
Oh, I'm telling you, I watched this. If they draft a guy in my position,
Is that
I'm
funny,
watching.
Nui, that he knows every single guy that they
you,
drafted?
I did my scouting work on the. Oh, he ran a 4. Oh, he got some speed to him. Let's see what the side to side looking like. Okay, so when Matt Johnson came in as a 4th, the guy had a lot of interceptions in his college career. He had like over 20 in 2 years or something like that. So I'm like, all right, this guy goes get the ball a little bit. He got some speed. But then when I saw him work out in the OTAs, I was like, oh, I got this. No disrespect to Matt Johnson, that's my boy. But as you're visually working, you're like, oh, I got this. Same thing when they brought in Rodney Poole. Rodney Poole. I made sure, hey, Rodney, come on, work with me, man. We're going to work out together. So I know, I see, all right, I got to gauge him. All right, he ain't really good side to side. All right, I got him on this, I got him on that. So I always kept, friends close, but enemies closer.
Okay,
you got to do it. That's how you got to do it, man.
So you did the Bill Russell, Michael Jordan thing.
Yep, whatever that was, that's what I did.
So they would say, like Bill Russell would stay at Wilt Chamberlain's house when they go play in Philadelphia. And they were buddies. Mm-hmm. It's like, and then Michael Jordan with Barkley. Hey, man, you go play golfing with the guy. It's like, hey, these dudes are acting like you're friends, but they would get ready, and we're buddies. But they step out on the court, the field, they sitting there ready to cut you to death.
I'm telling you, lead them out to the deep water. I mean, some people can swim back, some people get left in the deep.
So it's like that whole thing of, hey, man, you're getting played, right? He's buddying you up. So you're like, hey, come work out with me, baby. Let's go work. And all you doing is sitting up here, you just looking at shark in the water, seeing how.
I'm telling you, Daddy do it every single time. He just laughed like, man, church, you ain't nothing. But it just got to be it. Dog eat dog word out there, man. It's crazy.
Look at you, boy.
It's crazy. And it bit me in the butt, though. Jacksonville. That's when it bit me in the butt. We drafted a guy, I want to say 3rd or 4th round, Rodney Harrison. And the dude was a beast. He was a legit beast. He ended up taking my position, and I ended up retiring. But I was like, man, I was trying to do that same type of spiel, but it just didn't work. The dude was a beast. But, 9 years later, it worked for 9 years.
So the Cowboys have a draft party. And, they'll have players come out. Do players have a fear of going to the draft party and only to see them draft someone? I'll give you one of the funniest ones I'd ever seen. Chicago Bears have a draft party. They've given Mike Glennon a 2-year contract, and they pay him $18 million a year. Mm-hmm. So, hey, we got Mike Glennon here, and next thing you know, they trade up in the draft to go get Mitchell Trubisky. That dude's at the draft party. What in the what?
What is going on?
So have you seen that happen?
Oh, yeah. Our good friend, Jesse Holly, was telling me about this story. My rookie year when we had drafted Dez Bryant. So it was all the receivers at the time. So Miles Austin, Kevin Ogletree, Jesse Holly, Roy Williams, I think Sam Hurd and Patrick Creighton, I think were all in that room at the time. And leading up to the draft, the receiver, we're not touching this receiver room. Everybody here is locked and loaded, man. We're ready to go. Like, we got this. We got this. You guys are, you got it. We got it. He's not in the first round. We're not going to touch nobody. So they go all out. I guess they went out to the bar, hanging out or whatever.
Jesse was in Mexico.
Mexico, that's what it was. Yeah. It was something like that.
Or something like that.
CB knows it.
Yeah, he said
and they drafted Dez Bryant or whatever that time, and he's calling them up. What is this? What's going on?
He tells girls, like, man. Hey, we leaving. Just letting you know.
Yep.
We're going back right now.
So that's how it happens. I mean, cats literally look at it like, man, hold up. Y'all did this y'all told me this was not going to happen. And it ended up happening, man. Same thing with Sean Lee, man. When they brought him in, you had Brady James in there. And, Brady James was in there. We had Keith Brookin. I mean, it was, there's some funny times in that locker room. When the draft is around, I mean, it's hilarious.
So what are position coaches going through? Because you're a position coach. Yeah. This is above your pay grade.
And that's what they all say.
Now, they may ask you, which, you give them your opinion, but ultimately still, the buck stops with Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones, Will McClay. So how do they handle that?
See, they try to say that. They try to get that excuse and saying, it's above my pay grade, man. I think you're a hell of a player. Hey, that's what they want to draft.
Orlando,
I'm just
with you. I was with you, Orlando.
I think we're good.
I told them about it.
I think we're good here. We don't need to add anybody, but, hey, it's above my pay grade. Knowing damn well in those coaches' meetings in the back, hey, how do you think our DB room is? Hey, we need some help here, here, and here. Man, I like this guy from there. I like this guy from there. We need to bring him in. That's how it really goes down. But when we're all in those position meetings, during the offseason or before the draft, it's, oh, man, you guys had a hell of a year last year. We're just going to build on that. I don't see them touching this room. We might bring in some late draft picks. That's always the go-to. We'll bring in some late draft picks because guys don't really fear the late draft picks. Oh, they might make the team. They might not.
We got a bunch of 5s this year. That's probably what they're telling me now. We'll look to fill the back end on the 5s.
You guys got nothing to worry about. Here comes Morris Claiborne. Here comes Dez Bryant. I mean, it's
with Claiborne, they traded up capital.
Okay, so
you knew he was draft capital. Then you heard, hey, he's the highest ranked player we had since Deion Sanders. You're like, oh.
Yep, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
So at that point in time, he's just not draft. He's starting.
He's starting from the rip. They're going to find a way.
Barring injury, he's starting.
When you get later on in the draft, it's always we got to prove that guy can play. When you're a first round pick, we'll make excuses until you figure out how to play. So that's the difference. And so when you got that guy in the first 3 rounds, you got a battle on your hands.
So I'll tell you this as a media member, one of my favorites.
Who you talking about, dude?
Okay, so something like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You go get Morris Claiborne immediately. Oh, well, let's go talk to Orlando. Hey, how you feeling?
Is your role going to change at all? Like that's the big thing.
You've always played with an edge here. Does this give you more of a motivation? I mean, dude, at this point in time, it's just, what can I get him to say that's crazy?
I'm telling you, and to be honest, that's who I got the lead him into the deep. That's where I got it from. He was the king of that. I mean, if somebody started balling at that nickel position, next couple of days, next thing you know, Orlando and him are like right next to each other all the time, just hanging out, doing whatever. And then next thing you know, that guy kind of just, man, I thought he was getting reps with the ones, and now he's
they go sign Lel Collins. We go find Ron Leary. Hey, Ron. Broham.
That was wild.
They went and had a whole meeting at Jerry's house. Everybody was invited, but you.
How do you feel about that?
But you. They brought in Ron Collins and his mama. How do you feel about that?
And they say he plays his best at guard. How you feel? Man, I'm telling you, he was salty about that one. He was big salt. He was big salty.
So the thing is like, how did you, so did you talk to your teammates who went to this? Were you invited or not invited?
Like literally, you were the tension in that room. Like you walk in that room. Usually the old lineman room, you got snacks everywhere. People are laughing. You got dudes with their shirts off hanging. I went in there. They was all sitting there, notepads ready. I'm like, dang. I popped a joke. Ain't nobody laugh. I'm like, dang. All right. Well, I think Callahan was the coach at the time. Maybe. I'm like, all right, coach. I'll lead you to it, man. Like it was tight in there.
You Ron Leary, man. You walking in there with 2 words. You, and especially you. Me and you. I mean, dude, at that point in time, I would be bitter. I mean, think about how they did Ron Leary.
They did Ron crazy.
Come to Jerry's house, everybody. You got fed great. Recruit this man and his mother.
Oh, man. Except for
Ron, you're not exclusive.
It was wild. And then because you can't be mad at the guy they draft because he just coming through his draft.
But keep in mind, they didn't draft Collins.
Yeah, they want to draft
He was free agent.
Yeah, he picked it.
So they were trying to woo him.
They were like, yeah, you position battle. What? No, you're plug and play. You're plug and play. I'm sitting there like, wait a second.
I tell you, man, that was one of the, when I just think about just how cold this business is.
It's cold-blooded.
Around this time.
Oh, it's cold-blooded.
So that was, yeah, man. That's why I was like, I'm gonna pick the brain on this one. Get brain on it because this is just because this is not what we really talk about. The players here, but there are players here that are seriously worried and thinking about it. Now, I'm going to give you a guy right now who a lot of fans have kind of forgot about. Jabril Cox.
Yeah.
Got hurt. Advancing well enough that they let Jalen Smith go, but then you hear them talk about linebackers.
Yeah, and then they re-signed Vander Esch. He got a lower contract, but he still re-signed.
So you're talking about some linebackers in the draft here. N'Kobe Dean out of Georgia, Devin Lloyd out of Utah, Christian Harris out of Alabama, Clay Walker, another one of these Georgia kids, Channing Tindall. These Georgia got some guys.
They got some dogs.
So to me, if you're Jabril Cox, I'd be worried because if they like one of these guys
and they get him,
and they use as you said, first, second, third round
top pick on him, you in trouble. Because you don't want to be that, forgotten man. There's always that saying in the NFL, you can't make the club in the tub. Yeah. And right now, he's in the tub. He's getting these treatments. He's in the ice bath, getting ready. And when you do that, coaches kind of lose sight. They go to the guys that are healthy, and they're watching guys out there playing. And you don't want to, miss out on a lot of that. And they bring in a high draft pick, and it kind of, jumps you ahead in the picking order. So if I'm Jabril, I'm going to try and do my all to be able to get back and be able to show these coaches at least what I can do on the field when OTAs come around. I mean, I might not be 100%, but at least show him that you can move around a little bit, and maybe he'll be all right. But you're right. I mean, they felt that he was good enough or developing good enough that they got rid of Jalen Smith, but they also re-signed LVE. You got, I think, Gifford's in there. You got Parsons. So it ain't gonna be just as soon as I'm healthy, I'm ready to plug and play. I think he's gonna have to battle a little bit.
So let me ask the question here: if you are Tyron Smith, if you're Tank Lawrence, both guys are going to they're going to be on this team, and they're going to get their full salary. So they're not coming to them to take a pay cut. So we don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. But the process of them knowing as a football team, you should not write down 17 games and expect Tyron Smith to be there for 17 or Tank Lawrence. You can't do it. Mm-mm. So there is a thought process that we need to address these positions.
And I'm surprised they haven't. I know the draft is coming up, but I'm surprised they haven't addressed at least the tackle position maybe in free agency. You don't have to be a top-tier guy.
Okay.
You can bring in a guy like they brought in Naseki or some, a second, third level type tackle that can bring into the system, because we know those guys ain't going to go 17 games.
And here's just my thought process on first off, when you talk about the first waves of free agency, best ones don't get out there.
Yeah, you're right. Teams like to keep, if you're that good, they're not going to let you hit it.
Right. The best ones are not getting out there. It's just a rarity. Mm-hmm. So that's why right out the bat, you're not talking about the best ones. So now are you trying to pay top dollar for,
overpaying for somebody,
a guy who's okay? To me, this is from the Cowboys standpoint. You go to the draft, see where you are. Mm-hmm. Then after that, you can go address it.
Then you can get just a lower tier free agent.
Right. Okay. So that's where you go there. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with the strategy, because so many times, and this is where I think people give the Cowboys, who are beating them up right now, most of the free agency money spent that first week is bad. It's an overpay. And a lot of times what you're paying for are not the top players. You're paying the top guys available.
At that time, yeah. Look at Christian Kirk, 84. Is he $84 million receiver?
No. I mean, like, people are, man, they haven't done anything since Brandon Carr. Brandon Carr scared him out. Well, yeah, because they paid for Kansas City's number 2. Yeah. You paid $50 million for a number 2 guy. And this is way before your time, but it's when the Mets paid Bobby Bonilla all this money.
Bobby Bonilla day, huh?
Bobby Bonilla was a good player. But the guy you really wanted to pay, the guy who was the dude to get, was Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Bobby Bonilla still got
when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls under Jimmy, Alvin Harper became a free agent in Tampa Bay, signed him all this money. You're like, oh, this dude's a bust. He was number 2. Mm-hmm. So you gave number 2 guy number 1 money. And so many times in free agency, that is what's happening.
Yeah, I can dig it that way.
Or you're paying a good player great money.
Yeah.
Then you're sitting here mad because he's not a great player. I.e., Byron Jones. Mm-hmm. Good player. Got the richest free agent contract ever for a corner? No. But that's what free agency is.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, I can look at it from the other way. I mean, we talked about this before on the show. We talk about having this way of building it through the draft and building it through developing players. But I always come back to that same question. What has that gotten us these past, 10 years? We got a couple division championships, but is that really what the goal is here? I mean, is that really what we're striving for, to win a division?
Now, I'll give you this, and here's an interesting thing, because this is how the Cowboys have found success through the years, has been trading for other people's assets that they have now deemed, we want to move off. Charles Haley.
That was clutch. Okay. That was huge.
We've seen that most recently. Amari
Cooper changed life for that. He did.
You look at what the Rams did bringing in Von Miller.
Yeah.
So to me, that and once again, these aren't free agent moves; these are trades.
Matt Stafford.
These are trades.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford. Okay, so that to me that's more of an interest to me than necessarily saying let's go get a free agent. Now, with some of these trades, keep in mind, depending on who you get, you may have to also bring another contract with them.
Pay him up,
or let them go. Von Miller, hey, that was worth it. They gave up.
He was a mercenary, came in,
and he was playing for the end, and he was, in my opinion, the difference maker for them because he helped Aaron Donald go to another level of leadership. So that's worth it. Charles Haley, they brought him in, final piece that you needed. He had another level of leadership. Here was a guy, the youngest team in the league. Here was a man who was playing part of 2 Super Bowl championships with the San Francisco 49ers. So therein lied the benefit of him. So to me, it's all about looking at what's favorable to you. Now, do all these trades work out? They tried Roy Williams, a receiver. That didn't work out.
Not really, no.
Didn't work out at all. That was a bad trade. It was a bad trade. So,
do you think currently constructed, as a team is right now, we're going to add some pieces in the draft, I understand that. But do you think this team currently constructed can make a run? Can make a long run? Not just, win a division. Can they do that?
Okay. It's a good question. Let's take a break, and I'll give you my answer. I'm a little pessimistic, but I'll give my answer. On the flip side of this is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to the Star in Frisco for the 2022 Dallas Cowboys draft presented by Miller Lite. The party starts on Thursday, April 28th. Enjoy live draft coverage and entertainment starting at 6 p.m. Friday, April 29th is draft night out, featuring a free youth camp and specialty draft weekend menus. On Saturday morning, run or walk the Draft Day 5K presented by Baylor, Scott, and White Health. And stick around for drink specials, live music, and more during the Star Draft Fest. Visit DallasCowboys.com/draft. All right. Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. He is Barry Church, the Toledo Rocket. I am Newey Scruggs, longtime Cowboy reporter. So let me just throw this out here because you asked the question. You keep talking about a deep run, man. I'm just not here to talk about deep runs because it hasn't happened.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Forever in a day. So I'll just, man, you want me to talk about something, like why am I talking about something that doesn't happen?
Because we're trying to figure out what formula can get them to that, to where it can happen. I mean, we do the same thing each and every year as far as draft and building players and all that other stuff, but it doesn't really get us to the final goal. So we're doing is that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result? I don't know. Where can we get to where Like, it doesn't even have to be a free agent. Like we talked about, the top tier guys usually bad money. It doesn't have to. We can do some type of trade, something. But just building through it's the same philosophy that we've had for these past, 10, 15 years.
And you've tried it different ways. I mean, because since the 2000s, okay, I go back to when Campo was around here. I mean, I've seen a bunch of coaches, okay, so I've seen them try different strategies. So none of the strategies have necessarily worked at this point in time. Go back to the playoff game. Why did you not win the playoff game? You got bullied up front.
In the trenches, you got beat
bullied
down.
up front.
You got beat down.
Okay, so fix that. Now, for me, just it's the passing league. You're a DB, right?
Yeah.
This is a passing league.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let me just give you a taste of the quarterbacks on the menu for you. Justin Fields in year 2 with Chicago. Joe Burrow coming off a Super Bowl. Tom Brady unretiring, arguably had a MVP season last year, even though he did not win it. Matt Ryan is now with the Colts. Jalen Hurts is in his 3rd year with the Eagles, and they've given him some weapons. You are facing the Giants. You face Washington. Not really scared of the quarterbacks there. You are facing Trevor Lawrence in year number 2, who's got Doug Peterson.
Could be a big improvement out there.
You've got Aaron Rodgers.
He's always been a thorn.
You've got Matt Stafford.
Yeah. You got some boys on the docket.
You've got to go to Nashville to face Ryan Tannehill.
And Derrick Henry. That ain't going to be nothing.
You got Kirk Cousins. So
you got a first place schedule this year.
Right. So right here, when I look at this, I go back to the playoff game. You had problems controlling the trenches, which ultimately lost that football game for you. So you didn't go get Von Miller. Okay, you didn't have the funds for Von Miller, who got paid a very nice contract to go to Buffalo.
Didn't bring Gregory back.
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you something, all right? I'm one of the odd people out here on the Dallas Cowboys podcast network. I'm okay with Randy Gregory, okay? When I initially saw that 5-year, $70 million, I'm like, oh my goodness, come on, man. Dude has 6 sacks. I've never seen a dude with 6 sacks that people were ready to go give a gold jacket to.
He missed a lot of games, though, dude.
He's Randy Gregory. He ain't Randy White. He ain't Harvey Martin.
He missed a lot of games,
He's not DeMarcus Ware.
If he put 17 together, which he can, he has the capabilities of doing so. He can be a presence, but like you said, it's not our problem anymore. That's Denver's situation over there.
Denver got him good.
We got to figure out how we gonna fix these trenches on both sides of the ball.
Thank you. That's what you got to go do.
Because we also got to realize D-Law's not gonna go 17.
So at pick 24, at pick 24. I need to see somebody in the front 7 on defense or somebody on the offensive line, man. That's what I'm looking for at 24.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, man.
We got to figure out something because
I don't want to hear anything about the wide receiver.
You don't hear that about
No.
DB? I don't know DB right now because, with the situation with Kelvin Jones, I don't know.
What did you do last year?
Not a thing.
Okay. Led league interception, didn't you? So why we counting on him?
So we good with what we got.
Man, this dude got his whole law and order troubles. I ain't not looking at him.
So we good with what we got at DB?
If in the first round, I'm looking at, like I said, front 7 on defense or the trenches. Because I go back to the great line that Warren Sapp once said, back don't work without the front.
You're right about that. And we got to have some depth pieces somewhere because what allowed Michael Parsons to be as dominant and as bullish as he was when he went back to linebacker, we still had 2 edge rushers. Yep. When he went to the edge, we still had guys that can play linebacker in his stead. We had Keanu Neal, LVE. We don't got Keanu Neal anymore. So, it's going to be hard to kind of move him around as a chess piece when we don't have guys that can back him up as well. So we got to figure out something along that defensive line or, like you said, the whole front 7 to be able to get the most out of our top-tier players.
And that's not sexy, okay? That's the thing. It's not going to be sexy. When you're talking about pick 24, pick 56 in the second round, I'm looking at guys that are not necessarily going to be that you're not going to be. They will not come up on your fantasy draft, okay? Because they're not going to be. Position players, they've got to get better up front, man, on both sides of the football. And for me, that is just the key, dude. And it's just not sexy for anybody.
Can you see them bringing back a guy like Brent Urban? I mean, we didn't get we had a small sample size of him this year, but he's another guy who can at least take up space down there, at least take up blockers to let those linebackers run sideline to sideline. I like to see a bigger taste of what he got, but it's another guy in free agency that's, he's not one of these top tier. He's not going to break the bank, but but he can also provide some depth.
What I also come back to this is okay, that was good enough last year, but you talk about improving and trying to go back. Can it help you go deeper? I don't necessarily know about that. Go back into the playoff game here. And I was like, man, let me go back here and just hit on this number. Okay. San Francisco, 38 rushes, 169 yards.
You're not going to be.
They controlled the ball for 34 minutes in the playoff game.
One time of possession.
Okay, so that's what they did rushing the football. Here's what you did rushing the football. Cowboys, 21 attempts, 77 yards.
That's not going to get it done.
Okay. So, as you well know as a former player, this is what we're talking about. This is the trenches, baby.
Pure facts.
This is the trenches. Now, you had Jimmy Garoppolo with a bad thumb out there.
It's trying to throw the game away. And we still couldn't capitalize on it.
Jimmy wasn't good.
No.
Jimmy was not good.
He wasn't.
But, 16 of 25, 172 yards, a pick. QBR 68.6.
And he missed a lot of receivers out there.
Okay.
He missed a lot. So, I mean.
So this is showing your quarterback wasn't good, but they were so good at running the ball that this guy and his team walked out with a 23-17 victory for you. It wasn't good enough. Then on the other side, here's Zeke. 12 rushes, 31 yards. Tony Pollard, 4 rushes, 14 yards.
It's just not. What's that? 16 total touches for those guys? At least carrying the football?
Remember how many sacks Dak had in that game? 5.
Oh, man. Trenches.
Okay, so we talking about, let's go get a receiver. Really?
Trenches. They
really?
get us in.
Is that what you need?
And I understand 49ers, they got a hellacious defense, especially in that front seven. But we got to be able to protect the quarterback a little bit better than that.
Okay, so just going to receiving in the playoff game. All right, Cowboys had look how many guys caught passes in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 dudes caught passes.
How many did CeeDee
Well,
Lamb
actually,
get?
I mean 8. 8 guys got caught passes. 24 receptions, 270 yards, 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had 1 catch for 21 yards.
See, that's what scares me about this receiving room right now. If we look, he's supposed to be the number 1 guy, right? This is supposed to be number 88. You got the number 1. Okay. He's supposed to be that guy. But if you looked at it in regular season, I think it was the last 7 games, he didn't score a touchdown. Or it was something ridiculous like that.
Like 6 games, he didn't score.
So it's like, man, that's what scares me.
So
it's supposed to be our guy too, the number 1.
So if we're talking about trying to fix this thing, for me, I think it's got to be within the front 7, stopping the run and trying to figure out how you can establish
and protect
the run and protect. This is where football still won, and for the Cowboy fans out here who like to remember the triplets, or they like to remember the glory days of a Drew Pearson, I would challenge you to go look at the offensive and defensive lines of those championship teams.
Yeah.
People never talk about, or at least they don't talk about enough, that the Super Bowl 2017, Jimmy's first one, had number 1 defense in the league.
They were ballers.
Number 1 defense in the league, man.
Every team I've been a part of, every good team, I went to the playoffs 4 times. Every time I went to the playoffs, either offensively or defensively, we had a hellacious front. Those years with the Cowboys, 14 and 16. I mean, look who we had up there. We had T. Smith in his prime, Frederick, Martin. Their front line was amazing. And then Jacksonville, defensively, our front line was unreal. Calais Campbell, Yannick. I mean, the trenches, it might not be sexy. It might not be, everybody, you see what they did on ESPN? Look at these highlights. But I'm telling you, it still wins games in this National Football League. And that's, being able to be strong up front in the trenches. It could take you a long ways. And as we seen last year, if you don't have it, you're not going to go far in the playoffs.
The reason why the Cincinnati Bengals are not world champions is on the final drive, they could not stop Aaron Donald and Von Miller.
That's it.
Couldn't do it. Your last 2 drives, you couldn't keep them off your quarterback.
I don't care who he got at the skill position, because Cincinnati was
loaded. Thank you.
Loaded at the skill position. But if you can't block, it's going to be hard to win games. It's going to be hard to win the whole thing. But
all right. Last year, you and I made our first round pick. We won.
Way off.
We went with the corner for the second year in a row, okay? We went with Diggs the year before. They took CeeDee Lamb. Last year, we both were like Patrick Surtain, the second,
yeah.
who went one pick before, but we were right on point because that guy had a heck of a year, okay?
Oh, yeah. He's going to be a Pro Bowler for years to come.
Heck of a year. Danny wanted Slater.
Slater, yeah.
Rashawn Slater, who went out to the Chargers.
Good.
He was all pro.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, he was good. He was a fantastic player. So let's take a break and come back. What do we think? Who would we like to see the Cowboys walk away with at 24? Barry Church, Newey Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Registration is now open for Dallas Cowboys youth camps presented by Invisalign. Save $25 with early bird pricing when you register for your youth football, dance academy, and Little Miss camps by May 9th. Visit DallasCowboys.com/academy to secure your spot today. And as Danny McCray, who helps run these camps all the time, says, get your registration in. They will sell out. Do not be left behind, okay? Save $25 by May 9th. Get in there and do it. Danny McCray will be back with us on Monday as we recap the NFL draft. Draft is going to go down on Thursday. Look, the Cowboys, I read the read before, but I'll say it again. They got a party starting Thursday. Enjoy live draft coverage, entertainment starting 6 p.m. Friday. Look, there's a bunch of stuff. All right, so go to DallasCowboys.com/draft. Get on out to the Star in Frisco to be a part of it.
Where's it at this year? The Vegas? Oh, okay.
Chris Beam, you should be out there, man.
That's going to be a nice one.
I'll be sitting in this seat right here for 3 days. Sorry.
Cowboys have picked 24 in the first round on Thursday. Chris, who do you have? Who do you have, man? I know your brother works over scouting, so you might have a little pick this is warm. You might know something that's warm, man. Come on, man.
No,
act like you don't talk. Now you don't talk to your brother.
No, we do talk, but they're not even done with draft meetings. They're still in draft meetings. So
okay,
I know they were on running backs on Friday because I talked to the running backs coach.
Okay, so based on what you know and producing so many of these podcasts, Chris, 24, what do you expect the Dallas Cowboys to do?
Like position or guy?
First, I mean, right now, just based on the things you know at 24, who do you expect the Cowboys to select? Or better yet, who do you want? Who do you want?
So many guys that can fall to you there.
Okay, who would you want? Who would Chris Bean want? If Chris Bean gets to play, sit up there and whisper to Jerry, turn in the card. Who would you say turn in the card for?
Can I just give you a position?
Yep. There you go. Give me a position.
This is what I need. I think we need a huge defensive lineman, like in the middle of the defensive line. We haven't had that for years, to be honest with you. Okay. So
like a big space eater.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I mean, Davis is there, but I don't think Davis is going to fall that to us.
Oh, the kid from Georgia. Yeah.
I think they're going to give the center a chance.
Okay. Linderbaum.
No, I think they're going to give our current center a chance.
Oh, you think they're going to give Biotish a chance?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Now I could see them going with a guard to help out next to him.
Okay.
Okay. So and there's a lot of like Zion Johnson's out there.
Kenyon Green. They got some cats out there.
Yeah. They'll get some.
So
it will be someone on the front cover because there always is.
And that's what I heard on the draft show.
Dude, I'm telling you, every year, someone on that cover right there gets drafted to the Cowboys.
Okay. The Iowa guy in the front. Front and center, Nui, who you got?
You got Green on there, too. So.
No, there is Green on there.
Green
right next to him.
Green is on there. Look, I am... Where Danny sat last year and I resisted Danny, a lot of me says I need to stop resisting what he's talking about, which is, hey, look, you got to own up to the fact that Tyron Smith is he's missed so many games now. You got to ask yourself, is it time to go ahead and pull the plug? Or I should say, look at he ain't going to last forever.
So you go ahead and start grooming his replacement up in there?
So that's a part of me. The part of me goes there. A big part of me loves Tyler Linderbaum.
Center out of Iowa.
I mean, so if you could get the next Jason Kelce, would you do it?
Yeah. We've seen when we have a great center in the middle of that whole offensive line, getting guys lined up and making sure everybody's on the same page, this offensive line looks historically different. But when we lost Frederick, we lost that quarterback of the offensive line. And it gets hard that way. So if you can get a guy who's athletic enough that can pull from the center position, I've seen this guy pull on tape. He's big. He has enough bricks in his pocket. He can handle his one-on-ones. I can see it happening.
And look, I'm with you, Chris. Davis from Georgia. Jordan Davis from Georgia would be.
It's a freak athlete right there, man.
Look, if I have to move up, then I'll move up. One of the things, and we spoke about this on the last Players Lounge, what helped make Ray Lewis great is there was always a big one in front of him.
Yeah.
Tony Saragusa,
free flow.
Sam Adams. Then they used a first-round pick on Haloti Ngata.
Mm-hmm.
They were always cognizant that for the best way for us to let Ray do his thing is get some people up front so he could do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Junior Seau, the same thing with the Chargers for years. They had some people up front.
You can go.
So I got a weapon. How do I help make the weapon better?
Yeah, you got to protect the weapon. You got a Michael Parsons there.
Like so Davis is a guy that I would look to, and I've seen him, in the mid rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So and they've talked about moving up. You're at 24. I don't think I'm with Chris. I don't see him falling. But if I'm going to move up, I have to move up for an impact player.
Yeah, he's got to be a guy that can be a day one starter, plug and play.
And a guy who can help affect other things. We just talked about the running game here. They couldn't run. I mean, they couldn't stop the run. Mm-hmm. On the other side, they couldn't run the football. So I've just talked about two dudes who right up front can help me either way.
The trenches.
Help me either way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have grown. I wasn't a fan when they took Travis Frederick because I wanted Sharif Floyd. I think that was it was Sharif Floyd from Minnesota.
D-tackle, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I said, maybe I should take him, but they didn't. And turned out that they were okay. But man, having Travis here for the years that they did, what a professional, just really a talented guy, and they have not.
They haven't filled his shoes yet.
Filled it since.
They haven't.
Not. They've not been able to fill that since. So I've got issues in terms of I think the current center, Tyler Biotish, is a nice player. But he's not Travis Frederick. You can improve there.
Yeah.
You should get better there. If you can get a Jason Kelce, then I would go get it in terms of Tyler Linderbaum up there or Jordan Davis. So give me one of these two dudes up here that can help me stop the run or run the ball.
And I'm right there with you. I mean, you get the trenches like we've seen. They still win you football games. They'll still lose you football games. We talked about the San Francisco game about pretty much all show. we got dominated in the trenches. So in order to get better at that, you got to draft down there. And the guy from Iowa, like you said, the center, he seems to be a guy that can be a can't miss type prospect. Like he can come in, he can plug and play. He seems like a smart guy. He can pick up the system and he can run the system. So I would have no problem at all going there at that center position. Now, if they, if, like what Chris Beam says, they might give the Biadasz a chance there at center, then you got to put somebody next to him. Because we saw when who was at the guard? Was it Connor Williams was out there? They just, I don't know if they didn't have enough bricks in their pocket or whatever, miscommunication, whatever the case may be. That center guard combo right there, it just didn't really work out, as far as the Cowboys wanted to this season. So if they give Biadasz a chance, then they got to put somebody next to him that can hold it down better than Connor Williams did. And in that regard, then you got to go in the draft and look for somebody like that.
Dane Brugler has us taking in his latest mock draft Zion Johnson, the guard out of Boston College.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm okay with that too. Whatever now, feels the need in the trenches.
Johnson can also play tackle if you want him to. He's played at every single position.
So he's a versatile guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Big Zion and 6'3", 312. The comp that the Cowboys have here that Kyle Yeomans did was Brian Waters. Brian Waters, heck of a good football player.
Yeah, he was here for a while. He was here for a little bit.
Okay, played in the league for a long time up in Kansas City. Kid out of North Texas. So, if you can get this kind of player here, you're not. I'm not going to sit up here and say, "Oh,
you're not getting worse."
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But you got to get yourself better up front here. Okay, Thursday, it's coming. It's coming. Make sure you check out all the podcasts here on the Dallas Cowboys.
Go check out the draft party as well.
So, check out the draft party. We'll be back on Monday. We'll break it down, and Danny will be here to criticize everything that he doesn't like.
I can't wait.
Church, man, good stuff. Chris, we appreciate you here. Brother Will back there making sure everything works as well. This has been the Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. Take care now.
Okay.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!